railroad tracks. Now, railroad tracks supposedly separates the good side of town from the bad side of town, right? And we get ready to cross those railroad tracks to the supposedly bad side of town to meet a supposedly bad person, Ice Cube, formerly of NWA. We're going to be hanging out with him and his new organization, the Lynch Mob, and find out what he's all about. So don't believe all the hype. Pump it up.
This week on Pump It Up, the power and rage of Ice Cube, America's most wanted. Plus, Ice Cube and the Lynch Mob slamming new video, Who's the Mac? And on the mic with hip-hop's Mac-a-frama-lama Mac Daddies, the Afros. Of course, we got all the hottest, hypest videos, including this week, artist Kid Frost, Father MC, and Jazz. Straight out of Compton, the home of the free and the brave, if you're tough enough to survive. That's where NWA exploded from 3 years ago with their dope rhymes and in-your-face attitude. The man who wrote the infamous Straight Outta Compton is Ice Cube, the straight gangsta Mac himself. A little over a year ago, he left NWA to begin a solo career, a career that's been propelled by his smash album, America's Most Wanted.
Out hanging out with my brother Ice Cube, just chilling this afternoon. You know, just hanging out. How was it growing up in South Central?
Well, it was cool because, you know, I mean, I had a lot of brothers, I had a lot of friends. You know, we used to play basketball, but, you know, when it started getting dark and things, that's when it was time to, like, move inside because, you know, the L.A. streets are so crazy. Yeah.
What kind of kid were you? Were you a good kid, bad kid? What would you say? How would you rate yourself?
My mom said I was good because when I did bad stuff, I never got caught. So, you know,
so
I was cool.
You was cool?
I was kind of sneaky because it was like, I used to do this and that and kind of like either blame it on my sister and brother. See, everybody's older than me. So I can blame it on them.
So you was the baby, you get away with it?
I was the youngest, not the baby.
Oh, okay.
So I could do stuff and blame it on them and, you know, they get in trouble because, you know, I'm the youngest and I'm innocent, you know.
Were you involved with gangs?
Well, kind of, because it was like, I knew all the gangbangers, but I didn't really go and put on the colors and was like trying to do dirt because I didn't see no money in it. You know, so I used to hang out with them and kick it and shoot craps, play basketball, you know, and if it was time when something happened, you know, I was right in the mix. But, you know, I didn't never really go looking.
One time that you said you were an angry blank with a mic. What do you mean by that?
Well, see, by me having a mic, I get to kind of explain and really talk about the things that cause problems. See, I'm more of a complaining type of rapper, like a nag, you know, because I like to talk about things that need to be talked about, things that I want changed, or things that people need to take from the back of their mind and put it to the front of their mind, and kind of like have their own opinion on it.
Sort of like a reporter.
Yeah, kind of, but you know, I'm much more than just a reporter because, you know, I'm like in the action type. You know what I mean? I kind of just have like this is my VCR, and I just like go through the streets and live and kind of observe.
So your songs are basically playbacks?
Playbacks of things I hear, things I see, and things I've done.
Coming up, Ice Cube's Who's the Mac? Plus the Afros invade my crib.
Because I'm sure a lot of people want to know what happened.
I don't like the manager because he wasn't paying me my money.
That's the bottom line.
Bottom line, that's it. No more NWA, no more NWA questions. Lynch Mob is my new crew.
Who gave it that name? Because Lynch Mob is like...
Lynch Mob, we just lynch everybody on the mic, you know. We just string them up to a tree, you know. I mean, it used to mean something different back in the day. Now we done took it in, and we don't put that African stamp on it, and now it's something new, you
African.
know. Yeah, but
Very African.
it's just the new crew I'm rolling with. You know what I mean? You know, I wanted a whole new identity, and you can't tear down stuff that's in front of you alone.
Yeah, that's true. Now, who's on your Street Knowledge production label?
Well, we just finished a project, Yo-Yo's album, called, either we're gonna call it Make Way for the Motherlode or Stomp It to the 90s. We just finished that. We're doing my cousin Dale, which he helped me write A Gangster's Fairy Tale. We got these guys from Watts called Watts Up Productions. We got DJ Pooh, who does a lot of King T stuff. He got a group called The Boogeyman.
Yeah.
And, you know, we doing it.
So everybody's around here. We'll probably catch up with them later, but why don't you introduce your new video?
So my new video, world premiere, Ice Cube, Who's the Mac? Ask yourself.
America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, America's Most Wanted is my first solo album. I did it in New York with the Bomb Squad.
Which is?
Keith Shockley, Eric Sattler, Hank Shockley, and Chuck D. And I did it with my boy Jinx. He's somewhere around here.
Yeah, so how was it working with PE?
It was real cool, you know, because they real down to earth, you know. And the bottom line is to come out with funky tracks. So they don't care about what all the other stuff. It's like funky music.
Now, why'd you name it America's Most Wanted?
Because every brother with a color is most wanted. You know what I'm saying? It's a simple fact that we got to fight extra, and we got, you know, we got to get we trying to be 2 steps up because they knocking us one back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, I hear that. Let's get into this video by PE. Why don't you introduce
PE. Brothers Gonna Work It Out.
Brothers Gonna Work It Out. That video was real. It was smoking. PE definitely in effect. How did you get hooked up with him to work on your album?
Well, I got hooked up with him. It was like, you know, I used to see Chuck like when we do a show with him. You know, we talk. You know, we admired each other. We're rappers, so we exchanged numbers. You know, so when stuff was going down, I would call him for advice, you know, what to do. He was like, well, the best step is to keep the group together. And I was like, well, it's beyond that, And I said, well, I got to do an album anyway. He was like, well, you know, come out here and talk. You know, I might be interested in doing a couple of cuts. So I flew out to New York, me and my homeboy T-Bone. We talked to him for a while. Then it was like, yo, let's do the whole album. So we decided to do the whole album. I flew back, you know, flew JD in. Me and Jinx went back, and we put it down.
All right, now didn't you work on a song on their album, Fear of a Black Planet?
Yeah.
Burn Hollywood Burn.
Burn Hollywood Burn.
How was that working with Kane and Chuck?
Well, it was cool. It was kind of spur of the moment because when I flew back to talk about my album, they was gonna do it. And I was kicking it with Kane, which is crazy. I want to give peace out to Kane. But I was kicking it with him, and Chuck had called. And Chuck was like, Kane, when you gonna do the record? And Kane was like, well, you know, let's do it. And then Chuck asked for me, and he asked me, did I want to do a little verse on it, you know? So I said, yeah. That's why my verse so short. It was so spur of the moment. You know?
All right, then. We'll be back with more Ice Cube right here, rolling with the Lynch Mob on Pump It Up.
Roll.
You use the term bitch a lot to describe females. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's a word, like a woman can, with her body, she can manipulate a male. You know, if a male wants her bad enough, she can manipulate him in the, you know, if you want me, I need big fat earrings or this and that. And what he'll do, he'll rob me, he'll rob you to get it for, you know what I'm saying? Just to be with her. So I gotta label that type of woman. So what I could do is label him, her peers label her. Her peers look at her differently. He look at her differently, so he don't have to rob me and you. He figure, yo, I don't need her. So if I call her a bitch, then I'm trying to break that little cycle that's going on. You know?
I had to bring that up, you know, because a lot of people's always like, well, why is Ice Cube always gotta, you know, why we gotta be this, blah, 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 you know?
Well, bitch ain't to all women. It's like suck ain't to all rappers.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't dissing nobody that don't need to be dissed.
Word. So what's up for you in the future? You know, there's a lot of rappers now, you know, getting out there, getting into movies. Is that what you want to do? You want to act?
Nah, I don't think I want to write a movie.
Oh, that's deaf.
Yeah, I want to write a movie because I think, you know, the idea I have that's in the back of my mind, I think it'll come out good on the screen. But, you know, I don't want to venture into acting and none of that because I don't think that's me. You know, I'm a writer and a rapper.
What would you write? More like a love story or something like, you know, adventurous, you know, like
a love story.
Like Shaft thing, you know?
It'll be a real movie. It'll be a real movie. It'll hit you it'll hit you home.
Oh, okay. All right, then. Yeah, we'll be back with more Ice Cube right here